Hey, what's up YouTube? It's hojjoshMC here, and today I wanted to tell you something different. I did something different, and I wanted to tell you guys about it because I like to keep you guys up with what I'm doing in my life. The wife and I had recently heard about a product called Blue Apron, and we decided to check it out, and I wanted to throw up this review so you guys would know how it did. Now, my kitchen's not set up to record cooking meals and doing stuff like that, so I don't have any video of what happened, but I can tell you, and I have some pictures that I'll show throughout this process. Basically, what Blue Apron is a food delivery subscription service, and each week when you order the meals, they send you 3 different meals if you're on the 2-person plan, which is what my wife and I are. There's a different plan if you have more people in your family, and each week you get all the ingredients for different recipes to try out and to cook at home, and it has the recipes and it has all the ingredients you would possibly need to do it. It's really cool. It ends up, for my wife and I, it ended up coming out to about $10 a meal, which is comparable to what you'd pay if you went out to a restaurant, some maybe a little cheaper, a little more expensive according to where you live. But it's good food. I don't know if I'd say that because I cooked it. I don't know that it's called gourmet, but it's good stuff. The ingredients are good, and so basically just wanted to tell you about the different dishes that we cooked. And then at the end of this, I'm going to give you a way that you can get your own. You can try it out yourself. So the dishes that we got this in our trial were soy glazed meatballs and seared chicken, and I'm sure I'm pronouncing this wrong, verjus pan sauce. And then the last dish that we got was red curry and coconut shrimp stir fry. So I'm going to tell you about those different dishes and what I can remember about them, and we'll show pictures throughout this, so just kind of pay attention to that. Now, I'm not a food photographer, and I used my iPhone for all this, but you can kind of get the idea, and I can tell you how it was. So the first dish that we actually cooked was the red curry and coconut shrimp stir fry, and it was really good. I've never cooked anything using curry before. Actually, in all of these dishes, I had not used many of these ingredients, so it was a new experience for me. I've been cooking for a while, and so, you follow the directions and you're going to be okay. Never cooked with curry before, didn't know exactly how spicy it was, so, I kind of tasted it and tried to see what it was like. On this dish, it was really, really good. I liked the noodles. The noodles were really good. I'm a huge lime fan, and so any dish that incorporates lime into it, I always love that tanginess. I do like spicy foods, and so the curry was good. I will say, though, I didn't know what I was doing with curry, and so by the end of the dish, it was a little spicy, but that's on me, not on the company. But it's cool because you basically lay out all the ingredients before you get started, and the instructions tell you how to prep all the ingredients, tell you, what to cook things on, how to cook them, what it should look like. It has pictures. You can go online and use the app, and that can kind of walk you through video-wise some of the stuff. The curry dish, I would say that it's really good. I made it a little too spicy, I think, but it was really, really good. And it was my first time really cooking all that stuff fresh, and it was really cool and really easy. So kudos to Blue Apron for making that recipe easy enough to use. The next dish we did was the seared chicken, and I would say this is probably one of my favorites of the 3 that we got. It was a seared chicken and verjus pan sauce with mashed potatoes, mushrooms, and kale. Now, I never cooked with kale, and so we got to do that with 2 of the dishes. Actually, there was kale in the coconut shrimp stir fry. So that was cool to try cooking with kale. Never done it before. Used it in smoothies, but I've never cooked with it. The meat that was supplied for that was chicken thighs, and I never cooked with chicken thighs before that I know of that were specifically that, and so that cut of meat was really good. I would say to all the meat that was given to us in this package, all the meat was very good. Good cuts of meat, flavor was there, tenderness was there, so very, very good. I'm very, very pleased with the cuts of meat in these dishes. The mushrooms, I love mushrooms, love them in dishes, so this one was right up my alley with that. And it actually had mashed potatoes, and for the first time I made mashed potatoes from scratch, and it was super simple and super painless. I will say this, in that particular dish, we were provided with a pat of butter, because they try to provide you most everything you need. The butter tended to be, or seemed to be, not quite enough, because you're supposed to use half of it in the mashed potatoes. and it seemed to not quite have enough to hold my mashed potatoes together. Now, that may be that I didn't boil them long enough. They needed to stay in a little bit more. But it was super simple for me to fix. I just grabbed a little butter out of my fridge, put them in there, and they held together nicely. So I don't know if that was a user error or if it was maybe the pat of butter could have been a little bit more. But the dish was delicious. Don't know if I had anything quite tasted like that before. I enjoyed it. It's not a dish I would have cooked on my own because I wouldn't have known how, but it was really cool to try something new. And that verjuice sauce, I'm trying to say that right, I may not be, is a grape juice from very, very young grapes, I think is what it is, and it's super sweet, wasn't sour, had a really cool taste to it, and definitely added to the dish. I'd make that again because it was delicious. The last dish we made, and we just made it last night, was the soy glazed meatballs with Swiss chard, jasmine rice, and marinated radish. And it was delicious. I loved it. I've never made meatballs from scratch, and so that was new. One of the things I've learned in all of these dishes, because apparently Blue Apron really loves scallions, and so I've learned to kind of work with scallions a little bit more. They were delicious. The jasmine rice was good. I enjoyed that. What I would have wished is that maybe the sauce would have been a little more so that it could have gotten onto that rice. The rice, I salted the water for the rice. I could have probably salted a little more. Would have enjoyed a little bit more flavor out of the rice. I kind of thought I was going to get that from my soy glaze and didn't necessarily do that. Could have been that I cooked it a little too high and cooked some of that off more than I needed to. But that's kind of what that was. But the meatballs tasted delicious. They had ginger in them and scallions, and that was all really cool. Panko breadcrumbs, really good stuff. And the marinated radish I enjoyed. Basically, you just took a radish and cut it up a little bit into matchsticks and put it in some rice wine vinegar while you cooked. And those came out with a real sweetness and a tanginess into the vinegar that I really enjoyed. And it all plated really well. I will say this. We cooked the soy glazed meatballs last. It was the last dish that we cooked. And to my liking, I think the Swiss chard was at that point a little wilted. That could have again been user error. It could have been because of the way that I was storing it. It was not bad by any stretch of the imagination. It had not turned. It was not bad. There were just a couple of pieces in the leaves that I cut around just because of the way they looked. And that's a week after they got here, because the stuff does come, and you have it it's meant to keep a week and really not more than that. And so, but it was still very good, very delicious. 10 out of 10 would eat again. And that's how I felt about all these dishes. We really thoroughly enjoyed it. It made our nights easier on choosing what to cook and how to cook. And it was a cool little experience for my wife and I to cook all this stuff, dealing with ingredients and flavors that we're not familiar with. It was a nice way to get to know some of our kitchenware, to be able to learn the different pots and pans that we have that could do different things, and it gave me ideas as a person who cooks in our family of what I can do outside of this. Highly, highly recommended if it fits into your budget to try this out and check it out for your family. And I wanted to share it with you because I know we're a gaming channel, but I wanted to share it with you because this is something that we did in our lives, and I like to keep you guys up to date with us, and it was really fun. So kudos to Blue Apron for putting out a good product. I thoroughly enjoyed it. We're getting it again this week and checking it out. So kind of the nitty gritty of that, I've already told you about the price. You can choose any week not to get it. You can choose to cancel at any time. You're not locked in. The menus are put out far enough in advance that you can see what's coming. That, in fact, is what kept us on another week while we're checking it out, because I wanted to try one of the dishes that's coming up, and they're all new and different and stuff maybe you wouldn't be cooking on your own, but could be new things to put into the arsenal. If you are interested in getting your own Blue Apron box, in the description I'm going to include a link for you to go, and you can get a discount there. I recommend checking it out. It's cool. It may not be for everybody, but it's very cool if you like to cook and want to try new recipes and new things and new ingredients. It was cool for our family. We enjoyed it, and hopefully you guys will too. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, share it with your friends, let people know about this product. It's really cool. You guys should probably check it out. I know we definitely enjoyed it. So thanks guys for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye.